everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, with another Gay Gamer video podcast. This week I saw two movies. First, during the week, I had some days off work, and I went to see 65, which I just thought had such a cool premise. The premise is this alien crashes his spaceship on a planet full of monsters, and he and the other survivor of the crash have to find their way to the escape craft, which is in the other half of the ship that crashed over there. And they have to deal with all these monsters on the way. Except the gimmick is that they're aliens who crash landed on Earth in the age of the dinosaurs. So they're fighting dinosaurs. And I was like, that's a really cool, fun premise. So I was very excited to see it and check it out. Unfortunately, the movie's kind of a dud. Like, it's this wicked fun premise, but the movie doesn't really lean into it. So it's like, like exciting things are happening, but it's just sort of there. Like, I was never into it. I was never on the edge of my seat. I was never like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? I was just sort of like, and I think it's because they took it too seriously. Like, it's a very serious, like, oh, we have to survive, and oh, it's all very, Adam Driver's like, oh, and it's all very serious. And I'm like, a little humor and a little more fun, exciting adventure might have helped loosen it up a little, and make it more fun to watch. As it is, it's kind of a slog. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's not what it should be. It's not fun. It's just sort of there. So that was disappointing. And then the other movie that I went to see this weekend was Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And it was fine. Like, it's a fun adventure. It's a bit long. It could have used some judicious editing to tighten it up a little. It does drag in places. But my real problem with the Shazam movies is that, these little kids are turning into adult superheroes when they say the word Shazam. Which is hilarious because you basically have a superhero who can't say his own name without turning back into his secret identity. So these kids are turning into these adult superheroes. Well, except in this one, all the kids are a little older because it's been a couple years. So, they're all not cute little kids anymore. They're like teenagers. And like Freddie and Billy are practically adults. Awkward. And in fact, Mary no longer turns into a different actor when she says Shazam. She just stays herself and now is wearing a costume and has powers. Everyone else still transforms into their adult selves. But my problem is that those adult selves, the other actors are better at portraying the same personalities as the kids, except for Zachary Levi, your lead. And in the first movie, it was really annoying that, like, Billy had one personality and Shazam had another. And they're supposed to be the same person, just in a superpowered body. And it's like, Zachary never sat down with Asher to, like, work out how we're going to play this character, or the director never showed him dailies of Asher's performance so that he could kind of get a sense of how this character was supposed to be played. He just did his own thing. And that was annoying in the first one. And it's worse now because it's like, dude, you had to have at least seen the first movie, like at the premiere or something, or streamed it on HBO Max at home in preparation for shooting the sequel. But he still doesn't seem like Billy in an adult body. And it's super irritating. It's the one thing about these movies that just drives me up the wall. And it's like he's not even trying. He just defaults to this, like, goofy, annoying, I'm funny, but he's not. He's just irritating. And I don't like it. It kind of ruins it. It's not fun. It's not entertaining. And so, honestly, it's a problem when the star of your film is ruining the movie. It's just saying. It's not as annoying in this one as it was in the first because Billy's barely in this one. He's basically Zachary Levi for like 90% of the movie. So that's kind of not a good thing as well because I don't enjoy Zachary Levi playing Shazam. It's kind of annoying. But what are you going to do? But it's fine. If you like the first one, this one's more of the same. It's entertaining enough. I do feel like it was a bit sad at the end. They have a teaser for a sequel that's probably never going to happen. Um, First, because they're revamping the entire DC cinematic universe, but also because I don't think this is going to make a whole lot of money. I was concerned when I bought my ticket a couple days in advance, and the IMAX showing had like 5 or 6 tickets sold, and I was like, okay. And then when I actually showed up for the showing on Saturday afternoon, there was hardly anybody in there. The theater wasn't even half full. And I mean, more people came in as the trailers were going, so by the time the actual movie started, there was maybe 30 to 40 people in the theater, maybe. I didn't really turn around to count, but it was not like a packed theater like when I saw Quantumania. So I don't think Shazam's going to make a whole lot of money, so I don't think we're going to see much more of him in the future, sadly. Oh well. As for games, I continue to be very into Fallout 4. It continues to blow my mind. I did, as I mentioned in the last episode, I did start doing the railroad quests because the Minutemen quests have become very, very repetitive. It was one thing when he'd be like, okay, go and clear out this settlement and set up a guide beacon and like we'll start building up that settlement. Okay, fine. But now he's like, oh, this settlement is in trouble, go here and fix it. And like I've now gotten twice, it's the second time I've gotten the ghoul problem at Covenant, and I'm just like, yeah, I already cleared out the ghouls from where they wanted me to, and now you're just making me do the same thing over and over again. It's not even like a different quest at the same location. So they're just getting really repetitive, so I'm like, forget it. Like, I feel like I've reached the limit of the Minutemen quest. And Preston does always ask me, like, if we think we're ready to take back the castle, and I'm like, I don't know, are we? Are we strong enough? I don't know. And I kind of need to Google that quest to see what level I'm supposed to be at before I do it, or if there's other things that I need to do before we're ready, because I don't know if we're ready. I think we are. We might be. I don't know. But I've been doing the railroad quests, and because they're a little bit different. And the problem is I ran into, they were like, oh, go and clear out this hospital and find the information in the hospital that we need. And I'm like, oh, I've already cleared out that hospital. But of course now I go in and there's more raiders to kill. And at least they refresh like all the ammo boxes and stuff that are littered around, like so you can get more supplies and stuff as you go through the mission. And then when you find the information or whatever, but then I got to the end and I'm like, okay, I'm basically done, but there's this like basement area that you jump into, and I'm like, I feel like there was something bad down there, so let me just quick save my game, and then I'll jump down and see what it is. And sure enough, it turned out to be a Deathclaw. And I was like, that's right, it was a Deathclaw, and I couldn't get out of the building because you have to go and turn on the power here to open the door over here, and the Deathclaw was killing me at the time, so that was difficult to do. But I decided to fight back. I said, well, I'll just try to fight back, and he'll kill me, and it'll be fine. Except I'm strong enough now, and I've upgraded my pistols and rifles enough, and I've also given myself the perk that makes them rifles and pistols do more damage. I've been upgrading those perks, so I'm doing a decent amount of damage, and to my surprise, I was actually able to kill the Deathclaw. Lasers don't really work against Deathclaws, but the pistol and my rifle totally took him down, and I was very excited about that. And so that gave me a nice boost of confidence, and I said, oh, okay, let me go back to the Museum of Witchcraft and finish that one, because I was exploring that place, and there was a Deathclaw at the end, and it was like a special Deathclaw that was like even bigger and worse, and I was able to kill that one too. Yay! So that was surprising. And then it turns out there's this like Deathclaw egg that you can either, they'd stolen, and that's why all these guys were dead, because they had stolen this Deathclaw egg, and the Deathclaw had killed them. And you can either take it to the person they were supposed to deliver it to, or bring it back to the nest. And I said, let me just bring it back to the nest, because, you know, that could be fun. And there was a Deathclaw there, but it didn't attack me, so that was cool. And I was able to take a nice picture of it. Because that was the other thing that I learned this past week. I like my virtual photography, and it's been a while since I've played a game that had a virtual photography in it, camera mode, I mean. And so I've just been taking pictures, and they've had the HUD on it. And I just, out of curiosity, just Googled, can you remove the HUD in Fallout 4? And usually stuff like that, it's like, oh, well, yeah, if you're on a PC, you can totally do this, that, and the other thing to get a workaround. But it turns out you can actually do it on consoles as well, because in the settings, there's a setting for the HUD where you can change the opacity of it. So I like it full so I can see it. But you could, like, move it back to half so it's a little faded, or you can turn it all the way off. So I was like, great. So now whenever I see something, because sometimes there's like little scenes with the skeletons and stuff that are very amusing, and I want to take a picture of it, and now I can remove the HUD so that it makes a nice clean screenshot. And it's fake photo mode, basically. You can't actually zoom in or change lighting or do anything. No filters or grain control, but I can at least take nicer screenshots without the HUD on it, so it looks a little more like virtual photography. So that's fun. But I am now starting to think that I might be strong enough to continue the main quest. We shall see. I'll probably try that next week. I also recently pulled out, I play my Switch every day to play Animal Crossing, but now I have decided to get back into Ace Attorney Chronicles because my friend wants to borrow it, and we're going to be getting together next month. So I thought, you know what? Let me see what's left and if I can finish it in time. And I totally think I can, because I'm on chapter 3 and there's like 4 chapters or 5 chapters. There's only 2 more chapters after. This one's kind of long. There's like 6 parts to it, but then there's 2 more chapters that have like 5 and 4 parts to it. So I might be able to, push my way through it. And then I can just lend it out to him and not worry about it. But because I think I played it at the laundromat, but I'm thinking I'll play it like at night before I go to bed, because it's a lot like reading. Because normally I don't play games before I go to bed, because, if I'm playing, they get your adrenaline pumping and they wake you up. But Ace Attorney is a lot of reading. And if I ever play Ace Attorney when I'm at all tired or exhausted, my eyes get real heavy from the reading. So I'm thinking I could probably play Ace Attorney like before I go to sleep instead of reading a book. I could play a little Ace Attorney. It would make my eyes tired, and then I could just go to sleep. But we'll see if that works. So come back next episode, and I'll let you know if that works or if it's totally ruined everything and I'm not sleeping anymore. Bye!